Turning toward our house on the hillside, I see movements of a different kind. Tall shadows stiffly pushing through the currents. My brothers are awake, testing the weather. I imagine my mother at the stove, hovering over bran pancakes. I picture my father hunched by the back door, lacing his steel-toed boots and threading his calloused hands into welding gloves. On the highway below, the school bus rolls past without stopping. I am only 7, but I understand that it is this fact, more than any other, that makes my family different. We don't go to school. I spent my summers bottling peaches, my winters rotating supplies. When the world of men failed, my family would continue on, unaffected. I had been educated in the rhythms of the mountain, rhythms in which change was never fundamental, only cyclical. The snows that fell in winter always melted in the spring. Our lives were a cycle, the cycle of the day, the cycle of the seasons, circles of perpetual change that, when complete, meant nothing had changed at all. I believed my family was a part of this immortal pattern, that we were, in some sense, eternal. But eternity belonged only to the mountain. The Vixen shook her staff warningly at him. "Do not mock what you cannot understand. None have seen me in this camp before, yet I knew of Lord Bowfleg's death long before I came here. I am the messenger of death and fate. I see visions in the stars, the wind, and the eyes of many." Greenclaw had heard enough. Drawing his sword, he came at the Vixen. "Did your visions tell you that you'd end up dead today?" Scraw stepped in the way, knocking the sword aside. "Put up your weapon, Stout. The fox is a seer. It is bad luck to slay one with gifts like ours." "A seer?" sneered Greenclaw, as he sheathed his sword with bad grace. "Well, tell us what you see, Vixen." Nightshade shook her staff until the shells and bones attached to it clattered ominously. She shut her eyes and wailed. "Seasons of glory will come to the horde. No beast will lack plunder, while Six Claws lord." The kingdom of Leonis, extolled as the strongest country in Britannia, surrounded by a city wall to guard against attacks, the royal capital sparkled in the dazzling morning sunlight. It was June. The nights were short, and the dawn broke early each morning. Most of the people were still asleep. In Leonis Castle, which looked down on the capital, the bedrooms of the royal family, too, were all quiet and still. The king's oldest daughter, Princess Margaret, nearly 15, lay in bed clothed in layers of silk and lace. However, her beautiful face was strained with anguish. Her white hands gripped the bedsheets, and her lips trembled. Her mouth opened as if to scream, but made no sound, and shut tightly again. It was as if she were holding back, even in her sleep. Margaret was dreaming. It was a dream about 2 years ago, a dream of that terrible morning. Long ago, Frith made the world. He made all the stars, too, and the world is one of those stars. He made them by scattering his droppings over the sky, and this is why the grass and the trees grow so thick on the world. Frith makes the rivers flow. They follow him as he goes through the sky, and when he leaves the sky, they look for him all night. Frith made all the animals and birds, but when he first made them, they were all the same. The sparrow and the kestrel were friends, and they both ate seeds and flies. And the fox and the rabbit were friends, and they both ate grass. And there was plenty of grass and plenty of flies, because the world was new, and Frith shone down bright and warm all day. And Frith called after him, "OHara, your people cannot rule the world, for I will not have it so. All the world will be your enemy, prince with 1,000 enemies, and whenever they catch you, they will kill you. But first, they must catch you, digger, listener, runner, prince with the swift warning. Be cunning and full of tricks, and your people shall never be destroyed." And OHara knew then that although he would not be mocked, yet Frith was his friend. And every evening, when Frith has done his day's work and lies calm and easy in the red sky, OHara and his children, and his children's children, come out of their holes and feed and play in his sight, for they are friends, and he has promised them that they can never be destroyed.